All right, look out, because here come the fun police. Let's cancel the kids' Star Wars Stormtrooper costume coming out of Yahoo Lifestyle, just trying to suck all the fun out of Halloween. Nothing can be fun anymore. Everything must be generic. I was really shocked and surprised to see this article, though. I got to tell you, I've gone over a lot of cringy stuff. A lot of fun stuff to kind of rag on and make fun of, because it is fun to make fun of people's stupid hot takes, especially when they are dumb and cringy, like this article for sure is. So they're taking aim at Stormtrooper outfits. Why is that? Well, because in World War II, a certain group had Stormtroopers. So now, decades after the launch of Star Wars, we are now going to take issue with this because, well, you know why.
Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president.
Luckily, though, kids don't even really care about Star Wars anymore, so this really isn't too much of an issue, thanks to Disney destroying the brand with terrible movies and terrible takes over the past couple of years. Still, however, I think that this is absolutely ridiculous. So, let's take a look at some of the stuff this guy says here. He says, this Halloween, you will doubtlessly open your door to a kid in a Stormtrooper costume pointing a blaster rifle at your head. Legions of Imperial and First Order Stormtroopers will certainly appear, demanding candy from behind very iconic and recognizable helmets. And while it's nice to think that these kids are costumed as the heroic Finn, or even Luke and Han disguised as Stormtroopers, the reality is most kids who are Stormtroopers for Halloween are just dressing up as Stormtroopers. Well, duh. I think that's the point. They're dressing up as Stormtroopers from Star Wars, not World War II, which you people are absolutely obsessed with. Absolutely obsessed with. You think everything is World War II. Everything is that certain group. It almost loses value. Like, if there was a real one, it loses value because you've labeled everything possible a representative of hate, that it loses its power. This fact is a little bit scary because mostly, collectively, it's like the culture doesn't want to think about this fact, but we should. Having kids dressed as Star Wars Stormtroopers for Halloween is icky, mostly because Stormtroopers have horrific counterpoints both in history and in everyday headlines, because Orange Man bad. So because of the Trump, Star Wars Stormtroopers gotta go.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
I mean, every day I wonder just how bad are things going to get, especially as we lead up to 2020, right? Things are going to get a lot worse. A lot worse. But as we lead up to 2020, I'd imagine that people are going to start getting even more insane. So here's what brings this on. If you remember this, here's this tweet by Ivanka Trump. She's got a little boy here in a Stormtrooper outfit. Really not a big deal. But of course, this now associates Stormtroopers with Trump. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, that means that Stormtroopers are Nazis. We got to make changes. Can't have kids in those. Watch for them. Now I wonder if and when Rise of the Skywalker comes out, are they going to start making parallels to, World War II groups from that movie and talk about how bad it is? And in future Star Wars movies, they should be a little bit more sensitive and not include such images of hate. So they say historically, the word Stormtrooper originated during World War I and applied to a specific kind of German soldier. By World War II, it translated to Storm Detachment, and it was an early group in Germany. Naturally, no parent in their right mind would select Halloween costumes for their kids that are reminiscent of either World War I or World War II hate groups. But yet, arguably, this is kind of what we're doing every time we put a kid in a Stormtrooper costume. George Lucas specifically modeled much of the aesthetic of the OG Star Wars on World War II, and even some shots of the First Order troops in The Force Awakens are meant to invoke images of that old group from Germany. So, really, that's not a big surprise. That's been known for a long time that World War II was a big influencer with George Lucas, particularly with the Empire. And we know The Force Awakens definitely did grab from it. That's no joke. They really did, especially in The Force Awakens. That's pretty clear. Really, it's not even that big of a deal. I mean, it's a good piece of history to grab on for inspiration, especially if you're talking about, an empire and such. So I don't have a problem with that, and I think most people think it worked, but it's really kind of a stretch to say, oh, it's so bad that kids that want to dress up as, characters from a movie, a sci-fi movie for Halloween for fun is bad. It really is kind of the stupidest stuff. This is some of the stupidest crap that I've seen so far in my entire 2-year-long career making videos on YouTube. So it continues on. So why are we okay with this? In 2016, the Death Trooper costume from Rogue One was gleefully sold by the Disney Store, which is fine in theory because Death Troopers and Stormtroopers are make-believe.
No shit.
But the popularity of these costumes relative to other Star Wars costumes is a little unsettling. I mean, basically, these guys look like they're wearing space-age riot gear. This pompous dude, man. I'll never understand these people, because if you remember Sarah Silverman, you know who she is. She just recently got in trouble with her own people for wearing blackface. But I remember not that long ago, she was tweeting because she thought something was a swastika, but it turned out it was a construction sign. She's like, "Oh my God, look, they're putting them everywhere." And somebody said, "Hey, dummy, that's a construction sign." And then she felt like an ass, and she should have. But it brought up the fair point that these people literally see Orange Man bad everywhere. They're so obsessed, they're so unhinged that everything is a problem. Everything has to be canceled. Everything is triggering. And I'd really like to tell you that this guy's joking and this guy is, trying to be sarcastic and do satire. But no, he's quite serious. This is a serious argument by this guy. He seriously thinks that you're damaging your kids by letting them dress up as Star Wars stormtroopers. I mean, you really can't find, people that it's popular to be unhinged. It's popular to have these opinions. Or this guy knows exactly what he's doing and doing this because he knows people are going to come click on it and get mad about it. It's probably a mixture of both. But keep in mind, these journalists are quite unhinged, and they use their platforms as a form of activism and stuff like that. So I do believe this guy's trying to get good boy points and stuff like that. And it's really sad that we've got to trash our culture now so these people can do ass patting all day on Twitter, which I'm sure this article is going to be shared thousands of times, and people are going to be talking about how they need to get rid of stormtroopers all day long over on Twitter. Probably over on Reset Era too. I mean, look at some of the stuff he does here. So I want to show you, listen to this paragraph. In the narrative of Star Wars, stormtroopers with very rare expectations are people who blindly follow orders, and their orders are always about mass execution. They represent a police state, and in that world, following orders is the only way to live. Stormtroopers take people out with guns, laser guns. I want you to take note here that he put the laser part in parentheses. That's the kind of stuff that he's pulling here. He does it down here. Well, he doesn't really so much do it down here, but he takes out that, we shouldn't be glorifying violence and hate by letting all children dress up as stormtroopers. I don't. When did the world go so crazy? You know, when was the exact turning point? I wonder. You know, I often do think about it because it couldn't have just happened when Orange Man Bad Fever took over the country. I just don't remember it being so crazy other than like 3 or 4 years ago. It seems like that's when we hit the mass point, but was it just a slow infection? You know, what was the catalyst other than the Orange Man for all of this stuff? I just don't know anymore. This is ridiculous. So now we're going to regulate kids that want to do dress up as a sci-fi character. Get out. It just can't. Can it get worse? Yes, and it definitely will. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. What do you guys think about this crazy cringe? Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you got that notification bell hit. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and give me your thoughts. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.